Terrence Masson is an image analyst, and he'll be using motion tracking software to isolate and stabilize the 3 lights in Mark Olson's daytime footage. We're going to analyze Mark's video frame by frame to get some answers.
So what I've done here first is cropped out the majority of the frame so we can concentrate on the object itself and stabilized it. You can tell definitively here, these things are rock solid in formation. This is a good solid 4.5 seconds. And even the tightest precision acrobatic flying, you're going to see some kind of relative motion over that kind of time frame.
Can we eliminate the obvious things? Is this some type of helicopter? Is there any evidence of that?
Well, without having 100% certainty, I can come up with a long list of things that make this not anything like conventional aircraft. Going away from the running footage now, we've got single still frames, isolated, and I've run some image processing routines on this. And look at what's coming. We see some clear indication of a structure behind and between those 3 lights.
Whoa.
And black triangle. I mean, there's clearly something there.
Is there any other explanation that the darkness around these lights is something other than a solid object?
Many times we've seen in these consumer-grade camcorders the exposure range for the pixels that capture this information are very, very limited, and sometimes we do get blooming effects. So next to very bright lights, it'll tend to compensate and go very dark.
Right.
That's not what we're seeing here. It's too consistent over too long of footage.
What's your best guess? What are we looking at?
My best guess would be we're looking at a single triangular-shaped dark craft with 3 very large either propulsion or illuminating lights that's not consistent with any man-made craft.
When we first saw this thing going down the creek, we were scared to death. We were getting ready to call 911. This took place in 2001, August 15th at about 8:30 p.m. We run out to our backyard, and we see this big black thing approaching. The bright red light on the bottom lit up the whole creek, probably 100 feet across. And I assumed it was an aircraft ditching. I could have hit it with a softball underhanded.
That's how close you were?
That's how close.
What kind of noise did you hear?
Nothing.
Did you feel any heat? Did you feel any breeze?
No.
Did you smell anything?
No.
Then where did it go?
Followed the creek, stayed at the lowest point possible, went right over here to the base of the bridge, and it just went vertical like this, over the bridge about 15 feet above it, maybe 20, then it dropped right back down in the creek.
It's moving horizontally and it's moving vertically. As far as I know, we don't have any technology today that can do that. But to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be surprised to find out that we do.
Within about 5 minutes, we had an F-16. That was flying very slow, gear up. It was fully armed. It had 2 sidewinders on the wings. It had 2 more missiles underneath.
Minutes after sighting this strange flying triangle, Gordon saw an F-16, which tells me that there's some kind of military involvement with this craft. Either the government knows what these triangles are and is involved with them, or these flying triangles are completely out of our control and do not belong to our government, and we are monitoring their activity.
It wasn't chasing the black triangle. I believe it to be an escort. It was flying with it. Now, we got NASA just down the road. It's not that far from here. So it
Is
could have been
NASA
going
in the
there.
direction where the thing was heading?
Yes. Came from the north. It was headed to the south.
30 miles east of Gordon Scott's house is Johnson Space Center, home to NASA. What does it mean that an F-16 is following this giant triangle towards NASA? So here's what we found out. People all over the world are seeing these giant triangles. Pilots tell us they're capable of speeds and maneuvers more advanced than anything out there. And we have proved that ancient peoples may have seen something similar. This is one huge piece of the puzzle. But there's more. We've just got this amazing footage of triangles shot less than 100 miles from where we were in Triangle Alley.